In the Hollywood Southern T, back with another EP. Y'all do your boy a favor, y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. Whether you're here for a good time or a long time, I greatly appreciate you sliding through. If it's your first time, do your boy a solid. Don't make it your last time. Hit that subscription button. We talk this good boxing, sports, MMA, parlays, predictions every single day, not just today. This is a bit of this is some UFC news, right? Bit of news coming from the Volkanovski Topuria card. We all know that Volkanovski ended up getting stopped, in that main event on that card. Shout out to Vote. Uh, Interested to see where Vote goes from here, right? But this particular information is about a fight that was on the undercard of the Volkanovski Topuria card. Danny Barlow versus Josh Quillen. Danny Barlow was also victorious in his fight. He won by knockout. Danny Barlow was the main event on the early prelim card that was on ESPN Plus. He was victorious over Josh Quillen. Josh Quillen had never been stopped in the fight before. Danny Barlow got the third round knockout over Josh Quillen. Danny Barlow had stated after the fight, if you listen to the post fight interview, like right after, right, he stated in the post fight that he think that he broke his arm and that he broke his hand. Well, it has been confirmed, right, straight from Danny Barlow to me to you guys. His hand isn't broke, so he didn't break his left hand in the fight with Josh Quillen, but he did indeed break his left arm in the first round of that fight versus Josh Quillen. So it has been confirmed that Danny Barlow left arm it was broken, and it happened in the first round in that Josh Quillen fight. He said he's not really sure exactly what strike did it. And he said he didn't even really notice it. He didn't even feel the pain until after the first round, was done. He said like he felt a sting, but he wasn't sure whether it was broke or not, right? He said he felt like it was broke, but he really didn't know. Now it has been confirmed that he did indeed break his arm in that fight versus Josh Quillen, and he still was able to get the finish of Josh Quillen. 2 rounds later, right, about a round and a half later, right, broke his arm in the first, got the finish like the start of the third. Me personally, I think with as good as he looked on that day, right, there's an even higher ceiling for Danny Barlow, right? Because imagine if he gets in one of these fights, right, and he don't break his arm in the first round. You know what I mean? So he fought through that arm injury in the first round. He was still able to get the stoppage on the guy that never been stopped before in his career. And I think that's rather impressive, especially with it being, your first UFC fight, right? So with his Barlow, right? Because most guys, anybody out, right? And your arm broke, right? But he was able to persevere and he was able to fight through that. And he still looked dominant. Like there was no point in that fight where Josh Quillen was in control or it was a second where you thought that he might have won. And he did that as a wounded animal. Get what I mean? So he was wounded in that fight. So I feel like, of course, you never want to hear, no news about that about anyone, right? But a lot of these guys, you know what I mean, are hurt, get seriously injured, and whatnot. We just happen, to know Danny Barlow, so we go get all the inside information, all the inside scoop, you know what I mean, on everything Danny Barlow, right? But he did suffer a broken arm, right? Just a broken arm, not a broken hand, like initially thought. Again, what I was saying was you never want to see those guys get injured. But I think that's a testament to, the person, the fighter that Danny Barlow is, right? And it's a testament to what we got to be looking forward to in the future, right? Because, a guy like that, right? Even in his first fight, he had to face adversity. They put him in there with a guy who never been stopped. He stopped him and he broke his arm through the course of the fight, and he was able to persevere and keep pushing. Right, you know what I mean? My guy Ray Buck said it best. You know what I mean? The heart of a champion. That's indeed what that young man showed. Saturday night versus Josh Quillen, and I think you know A few people knew who Danny Barlow was, right? Coming off the regional scene, coming up. But I think that Danny Barlow fella, I think he did a good job. He made a good impression, and you just add on the top of the fact that he basically did it with one arm, right? So we still have yet to see two arm Danny Barlow, right? You know what I mean? Because I had made a play. I made a couple plays on there, right? I made Danny Barlow first round knockout, Danny Barlow knockout. I feel like he hadn't broke his arm, right? He would have been able to get that knockout in the first round. And I also noticed, right, from watching Danny Barlow's past fights and watching that fight, I noticed that he used a lot of speed in that fight. Now, while he's a quick guy anyway, right, he used a whole lot of speed in that fight. I was like, Danny, he throwing a lot of, speed punches. And maybe that had a lot to do, with his arm being broke. So he was still not able necessarily, to get full, power in those punches like he wanted to because he was doing it with a broken arm. You get what I'm saying? So I think, it's still a lot left to be seen. You know what I mean? Even with him getting the win, dominating fashion, right? Getting the win, it's still a lot left in that trick bag. Because if he did that with one arm, just imagine what the hell that brother gonna be able to do with two arms. But just to confirm it, Danny Barlow did indeed, break his arm. A timetable of how long he gonna be out right now isn't clear, right? But didn't break the hand. He did break the left arm, right? That's the power arm. And he was still fighting through that, throwing that power arm, throwing that power hand, right? So I think that's, something you most definitely should, jot down, right, for these later fights. Even when wounded, that's not a guy that's go quit for you. Y'all know how we like to do it over here with the parlays and the predictions and whatnot. You know what I mean? But just wanted to confirm that Danny Barlow did indeed break his left arm in that first round versus Joshua Quilly. It's confirmed now, right? Not a thought, not a guess. He thought he broke it that night. It's been confirmed since then, coming straight from the horse's mouth, Danny Barlow. But I appreciate y'all folks trying to do this thing, man. Skin Hardaway 17. This ain't the past, this ain't the future, but just the present. That's how we rock it. And I'm out. Make sure y'all subscribe. Y'all tell a friend to tell a friend. Greatly appreciate it.